Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm attempting to do and we'll see how it works. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to take my truck box off. This is my '06 Sierra, and the rear cross member that has the shock attached. So my left rear shock goes there, and it literally tore out of the cross member that was up here, the round one at the back. And I've got a new one coming in. It's arriving tomorrow. So I'm going to attempt to do this. I'm going to cut the old pipes out with my plasma cutter, and just disconnected the wiring up here. And then I cut this off with a reciprocating saw. I cut the other side here off with a reciprocating saw. Same with here, and took that spot out. And I'm going to cut that last, because I'm probably going to raise the truck up before I actually put the other one in. And the exhaust hanger's on there, so I'll support the exhaust before I cut that. Now what I'm going to do here, because without the box off, it's a little tougher to cut this out. This is the spare tire hanger, and it's welded up on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here, cut it right across. And then I'm going to put I'm going to bolt or weld a piece of angle iron here that will then weld to the new cross member. Again, because I can't get on top of it, that one's a little trickier. So anyway, that's what I'm up against, and that's what I'm going to attempt to do. I think I've seen some videos, and guys have used the plasma cutters, and it works really well to take that pipe out instead of fighting with a grinder for hours. So we'll give that a try and keep you posted here. So there's the piece that was attached to the gas tank support. Cut it out, cut it away from the gas tank support with a plasma cutter. Cut it with ease. If you don't have a plasma cutter and you do work on your vehicles and weld, etc., get yourself a plasma cutter. Amazon, I think I paid $300 for this thing. It's just amazing. Anyway, so now just a couple of steps to do, and I'll be ready to try put the other one in. So I cut the old pipe out with the plasma cutter. Actually, I'll bet you both sides just took me a couple of minutes, so that was actually quite easy. Had to hammer it, and then I touched it up with a die grinder to get the burrs out of there. I'll show you the inside here. So there you can see the inside. I left that top piece of the old plate. I'm probably going to cut the bottom one off some more. But I left the top one. I'm going to clean it up because I probably won't be able to weld on top. I'll be able to weld the pipe fully from the other side, but I may cut the bracket on the new pipe and weld it to that piece from the inside instead of trying to get on top of the frame, which I might be able to do it, but it's probably gonna be tricky. Anyway, so far so good. So this is what I've done to hold the exhaust up. Block of wood and jack with a piece of plywood, because I have to cut that last piece out of that tube, and it has the exhaust hanger on it, so I don't want to cut that and break my exhaust off, so I'm going to hold it up like that. So I got the other side out, and with it the piece of pipe with the exhaust hanger, so I'm going to cut the hanger off to make it easy to put back on and weld. Well, I'm done. And there it is. You can see how I did the outside. I didn't weld vertically because I didn't want to sort of affect the integrity of the frame. I did horizontal at the top and bottom and welded the pipe in. I did the same thing on both sides, and I'll show you underneath what I did here. So there it is, the support in place. And on the inside, there's a couple of things that they don't quite have right. So the distance here, you can see there's a gap up top, and I'm not worried about that. I welded along the bottom, which was very difficult actually because the frame's not very thick. But the outside weld with the plate is going to be all the strength. So there's the exhaust hanger back in place, welded on, and the other side right here. This is where it all started. With the shock breaking off, or tearing right out of that support. Actually, it all started with that little brake line that went, and when I came under here, the shock was dangling in midair, and that cross member was literally gone. So anyway, should give life to the truck for a few more years. What I did up here, and it was difficult because of the paint, and I did try to grind it off, but I ended up going with flux core here. And I put an angle, as you can see there's an angle iron in there. The actual tire carrier can't fall down because it's sitting on the pipe, but I put the angle and welded it in. So it should be fine, and basically all ready to go. The one thing, and I noticed, I got this on Amazon, and I noticed someone mentioned that this bracket was wrong, that it was pointing the wrong way. And I have to say, as soon as I saw this, I said the same thing. But in fact, it goes in. And all I did to help it make it a little easier was I just put a large crescent wrench on this side, and I just bent it out maybe a 1/8 or a 3/16 of an inch to give a little more room. But the bolts line up, everything's good, and it fits in the other end. So I'm all set to go. So if you're wondering if you can do this, you can. This is an all-day job. I started, I think, around 10:30, and it's now 4:30, and I'm done. So it was a big job. There's no question about that. And if you don't have a plasma cutter, you might want to think twice if you don't take the box off. Plasma cutter was a godsend. Anyway, that's one more piece fixed up and good to go. So finally, just a review. You can do this without taking the box off. So like all things, just got to take your time and have the right tools. And it probably, it would have, the only thing taking the box off would have done was make some of the welding a little easier, and very little actually. So it wasn't too bad in this case because of the way that cross member is made. Anyway, if you found this useful, please like the video and subscribe. Thanks.